of the intergalactic vampire's killers. Genius scientist Rusty Steele is in his lab, busy sampling his newest invention, a hybrid plant grown on planet Mars he has dubbed Jolly Green Giant that makes everyone who partakes of it filled with love. A folder labeled Top Secret SOS races down a pipe, dropping on the table. For years, the intergalactic vampire has been injecting drugs into the hearts of innocent people. Standing in the way of this evil vampire is a single brave soul, the scientist. The scientist brings nothing more to the table than a love of mankind and a talent for reggae beats. But these tools are more deadly than they appear.
Stockade Radio #1, always on top, the best music non-stop. Jojo Max said that.
But with a little creativity and a lot of hard work, the dream that the scientist rids the world of evil just might come true. This adventure is explored in the Scientist Reggae album, a music collection containing a story like no other. In the Scientist album, listeners learn of such evil
Stockade
creatures
promotion. Bring the love back in the business. King me said, go on, tune in and listen to things. And I see, mad.
These terrifying creatures are awful intergalactic vampires. It is up to the scientist to use its musical powers to make the world safe once more. Fortunately, this is not a mission. The scientist needs to take all on his own. Along the way,
greetings, I'm General Culture back here on a Sunday, the Reggae Biz Talk Show.
First there's Flava Holt, the chief of low
Okay, as per usual, we try and connect with the panel who is part of this show, the Reggae Biz Talk Show. And today the show is starting a little bit late, so please bear with me while I try to get the entire panel together. Let's see. Scientists, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Great. Fitzroy.
Yeah, greetings, I'm here, right?
Ooh, got a lot of noise going on there. Christopher, you there?
I'm here.
Great. We'll see if we can connect with who else? Lady General. We'll see if we can get a hold of them as we go on. Once again, I want to apologize for my lateness, which was unforeseen. I had to deal with some things, some very important things. And I'm glad I was able to make it back here. So today, unfortunately, we're going to have to do a 2-hour show if we can. I have a series of things to deal with, unfortunately. I want to thank you for your patience, all the listeners out there. God bless up Mr. Busby for holding the phone. I'm going to say that. And I'm going to bless up Lady General and all our listeners. I want to bless up the vast amount of people who are logging on for the show today. So maximum respect to all the listeners. Let's just get into the introduction so that we can start the show without further ado. We have Roddy Campbell here in the building also right now. So let's kick it off with Scientist. Just introduce yourself and let the people know who you are and what you do.
Yeah, well, I'm the scientist, producer, engineer, innovator.
Okay, Fitzroy Francis.
Yeah, I'm Fitzroy Francis. I'm by the full 13 records. And, you know, I'm here speaking about rights of the music and, you know, what is relevant today in our music industry, you know, for artists, producers, songwriters, etc., etc.
And we have Chris Hills.
Good evening. Chris Hills. We're a small record label and management company. Coffee and cream.
Okay, great. We have Roddy Campbell.
Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you are in the world. I am Roddy Campbell, singer, songwriter, artist, musician, and station manager for the Big Bad Stockade Radio.
All right, I'm not too sure why I'm not able to get hold of Lady General. So if she's hearing or listening to this, can you please add yourself to this show, please? That's if you're able to, okay? We're missing Doozer. Doozer did tell us he's got a couple of things to deal with. And he's going to add himself to this conversation as we go along. I'm just going to see if I can quickly add Lady General, because for some reason, strange reason, I'm unable to add her to this conversation. Let's see. All right. All right. All right. Okay. Let's try again. Let's try again. Have we got Lady General there?
She's in there.
Okay. We got Doozer, we got Fitzroy, we got scientists. Let's hope we got Lady General. Lady General, say something.
Yes, sir. I'm here, present and correct, teacher.
Okay. Good, good, good. Introduce yourself, please. Tell people who you are and what you do, please.
Well, hello, everybody. This is Lady General. I am co-CEO of Stockade Radio, Stockade Promotions, Stockade Records, Stockade Promotions. Did I say that? Welcome to all. Glad to be back here again on the Reggae Biz Show. I'm also a paralegal, and I am also almost a licensed real estate agent. Almost there. And, you know, been in the music business all of my life, really.
Okay.
And, yeah, that's it for now.
Great. And I'm General Culture. I'm Stockade. Anything to do with Stockade, that's me. I do producing. What else do I do? I'm a consultant. I do so much things, you know, and with the reggae music industry, I try to create shows that try to create an impact. This is another one of those shows that, you know, is creating such an impact, which is needed. We're hoping that this show, well, it has done. It has provided so many people out there with so much knowledge and information that to this day, we still have people reaching out to us, asking us, you know, about one thing or the other to do with contracts, most especially. So it is touching the people out there. And we, somebody's typing. Please stop. Sorry. It's reaching out to so many people, and it is touching so many people out there right now. And if you know anybody who is in the industry who is in need of information, we ask you and we urge you to reach out to them and tell them to be a part of this show, you know. So tell somebody to tell somebody to tell somebody to tell somebody, you know, just keep reaching out. I do want to mention 8 p.m. I am supposed to be making a link with Lorna G and Colin Brown. Okay, they are Veterans Foundation in the on the UK scene, so we're going to be making a link with them a little bit later. I'm going to kick it off with we're going to talk about contracts just for a little while. Top of the hour, we're going to break away from that discussion and connect with Lorna G, who's going to be part of this show. Okay, so let's just kick it off with contracts. I'm going to start off with the scientist. You there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Talk us through this contract that you brought to our attention, and the reason for bringing it to our attention.
Well, a lot of young artists, they're just interested to get themselves out there. And they're so eager to get themselves out there. A lot of them, especially if they're coming from Jamaica, they can't afford counsel. They don't know anything about the business side of it, and they're just eager to sign. One of these artists came to me and asked me what I think of the contract. When I read just the first 2 lines of the contract, you know, whatever scumbag attorney put that unfair contract together, you know, he swore an oath that he has to be fair. And, you know, whatever attorney write that contract is really a scumbag, because it's really take advantage of somebody who doesn't know anything about the business. So I advise the person not to sign the contract. And if you could read some parts of the contract, you can leave out the parties involved, and we point out why the contract is an immoral contract.
Okay, and it says producer agreement. This agreement is made and entered into as of May 11th, 2015 by and between the music group Inc. 8905. And it seems to be a license and producer agreement. It says the producer in itself and its affiliates, predecessors, in rights, successors, and assigns hereby grants to the licensee and its licenses, successors, and assigns the exclusive, irrevocable, and perpetual right and license.
Yeah, let's just go over that part.
That's double Dutch to me.
Well, the first part is that word in perpetual, right? A lot of young artists see that word, they don't know what that word, and all the crooked record companies, they use the exact, as like they're reading from the same textbook, in perpetual, and what that means forever and forever without any end. The next part of the contract that talk about irrevocable, right? Meaning that the person who is issuing a contract can breach a contract and you can't revoke the contract. So if you have an agreement with this person that I'm supposed to get X% and the person decide, well then, I'm not going to abide by what I signed the contract, you can't revoke the contract. That's an immoral contract. And I hope these trial judges start looking at these scumbag attorneys and seeing that they're doing something immoral and rule against these contracts. The next part of the contract, where it's a person who already did all the work, spent all the money, and now bringing to them as a license. They want to be able to own this person's property forever and ever without any end, and you can't reverse the contract. So I advise the person not to sign the contract.
Right. And what was his response?
Well, he felt the same way. Just reading it by himself as a less experienced person. But when he brought it to me and him came to basically the same conclusion. He was pretty much aware of the word in perpetuity, but he just wanted was to see somebody as blind, just reading the contract with the same for the first time, would come to the same conclusion as him. And we both come to the same conclusion: is a scumbag attorney put that contract together. So no. I happen to know who the contract is coming from, and I know them probably have them the guys here listening. But you all need to stop it. You all need to stop it. I understand a contract is what it is, but when you're going in front of somebody like what you give a bunch of these people in Jamaica, they don't know anything. You're stealing from them. You're stealing from them.
So let me ask you this. So for the normal person out there who is unable to decipher the double Dutch wording of this contract, it simply means what? That when they produce their works to the particular record label, anything that was signed under that contract will be owned by them till thy kingdom come.
Well, yeah. Well, in some, let me show you where I could probably say it have some valid argument. Say, what's his name? Chris start a record label, right? And Chris use his money and say, okay, I want you to go to Jamaica and I want you to find these artists, right? And I want you to sign them and produce them and here's some money. Then I could agree or partially agree with the part. And you see that is depending on the artist that's going to produce. And the producer don't have the exclusive right to say, I'm going to sign this artist to whoever, without the artist agreeing that the producer can sign him to whoever. Now, I would agree in the sense that, well, then Chris spent his money. He sent the guy, the producer, to Jamaica. He developed the artist. And I could agree with that part that he wanted to keep it probably in perpetually. But the artists have to agree with it. The producer doesn't have the sole authority to make that decision on the artist. You see, the artists have to be able, and again, an agreement is whatever you make it. You see, what happened based on the Bernie Convention law, right? Yeah. These comeback attorneys go and know that based on law, if two people agree, well, then the court hand kind of tie is why they come up with these comeback attorneys come up with these wordings in these contracts. But you don't have to agree with it. The average person don't know what in perpetual mean, and they go agree with it.
I want to come to that word perpetual. Before I do that, I want to come to those who have record labels. I want to come to Christopher Hills first. What is your interpretation of what you just heard?
Exactly what scientists said. It's crooked, it's unethical, and it's robbery. It's plain and simple. Mm-hmm. I understand when scientists were saying about putting money up and stuff like that, but that's a fixed cost and that can be recovered, and once that is recovered it can be set aside from any contract in that respect and just built into the contract as it needing to be repaid if the contract comes to an end. No. So for instance, one of the things that contractors done, if a big record label like Sony came along and wanted the artist, he can't get out of the contract to sign up with Sony. And yet if there was a clause within it that said that any fixed costs need to be repaid, then a big label like Sony would probably repay that amount to release him from that contract and take him over.
Right. So let's come to that word, Bernie's Convention, because you had a gripe with it when we had our meeting. You said not everybody's adhering to it. So just give us what you were saying about the Bernie's Convention and not everybody adhering.
Well, the Berne Convention is signed up by lots of people, including the United States, but a member of ASCAP, senior part of ASCAP, in a conversation that was taking place over the internet, turned around to me and said, yeah, we know about the Berne Convention, but we don't adhere to it because we make our own laws.
Mm. Yeah, but you see, that person that said that, right, if that was on record, that person should lose them job. It would put US in a bunch of problem because a contract is a binding thing by law.
No, I wasn't talking from contract perspective, scientist. It was to do with other matters such as royalties and royalty collection.
Okay.
Contract-wise, I think America's really quite tight if it's in that respect. But this was to do with other sundry items where, if you remember the conversation we were having, if the amount of effort that was being put into would be put into amending the Berne Convention so that it covered internet and streaming and everything else, then we could have something worldwide that would benefit everybody. But at the moment they're going out on a limb for their own purposes, and it seems to be led by record labels and publishers and not artists.
Well, here's what the problem is. Based on what the Berne Convention says, the artist is the first owner. Whatever record bear the artist sued them, that's the first owner. And it says that that person has the sole has the authority to say what happens with the record. What you say is correct. They went, a bunch of these artists don't know what the law is, and they make these deals and they body carry the record company executive on the golf course. And because they know that most artists is not academically smart or have somebody in their corner, is why it happened. What needs to happen is all the artists them that is associated with all the different companies like ASCAP, right? They should have a way where the artists have to cast the vote and not the executives, because we see what happens when you get a bunch of executives on the golf course. They snort each other beep beep, and they come up with nonsense like this.
Absolutely.
I want to come straight to Fitzroy Francis, who is a record producer himself, and if one of your artists was presented, although we haven't read the fullness of this contract, you know, the first few words of it seems to be, you know, disastrous. Would you allow any of your artists to agree to one of these contracts?
No, I would kill that contract in two.
Right.
I would kill that contract in two.
But Fitzroy, if you had produced the Black Uro and somebody bring a contract like that, you'd have tear it in two also.
Of course. The only way, as I said, I reiterate what I said, if a record company say Mighty Full Third, Fitzroy Francis, here's X amount of money, I want you to go and produce this project, whatever, finance it, whatever, then there are stipulations like that where you have to give them ownership rights. But if you go in your pocket and produce that project, you can't have a man giving you a contract to sign where it's going to be perpetuated and irrevocable. That is, to me, slavery in the first degree.
Fitzroy, if you go along further and read part of the contract, after you spend your money, they want to keep 90-something cents. I only give you 3% the share for you and the artist. And I know the scumbag attorney and the record company who keep putting this contract in front of the poor Jamaican youth them and ripping them off. So if you the producer and you don't know anything about this and you sign and you must only get 3 cents.
Well, let me read this part of it, which is part 5 of it, of this contract. He said, in full consideration of the foregoing grant of rights with respect to the masters prospectively upon recoupment of artists' advance, producers shall receive a producer royalty equal to the net sales of records embodying the masters exclusive of reasonable reserves for returns, taxes, and shipping costs. And a packaging deduction with 25%.
Yeah, that is one of the big scams, because they try that with me, you know. They try that with me, talking about shipping costs. And you see, anytime you start dealing with certain things that's federal, you're committing grave fraud. Okay, you claim that you have shipping costs. Oh, yeah, we have. Okay, send me a bill with the shipping costs. You said you didn't want to hear letters that you have shipping costs, or you have all this shipping costs and expense. You know, all of that can be fabricated. Okay, send it to me. So the idiot, right, send me some other shipping costs with the barcode number, blah, 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 blah. Right, and time we run the barcode thing through UPS, it was a different thing entirely. Right, so whenever they're doing these things, you need to have something that they have to justify it. They can't just say they have shipping costs. They have to put the actual bill in front of you. That's a scam that they've been using forever and forever with the returns. They tell, oh, we get back all these returns, and when you look, you see they keep shipping. You keep shipping 2,000 to get back 2,500 return. That doesn't make any sense, because you say you ship 2,000, how come to get back 2,500 return? And yeah, this scumbag record company down there, and I hope him listening, him roar. Him used to do the same shit.
So tell me something. Tell me something.
Well, what's the kind of General? I mean, I like for listen back, because it's a recoupable. How can that contract are recoupable when they don't invest the money? So who gonna recoup? Which money gonna be recouped? The producer.
That's a good point again. What money? Because the money is already.
This contract is a contract. Yeah. So I want to know, because in music, every money is recoupable unless it's promotion.
Well, but to do them written it up, they want to recoup from promotion money and whatever expense them
no, it's
have
enough
should
to
expense.
recoup from promotional money. No,
Yeah.
nothing. Because if you press 1,000 CD and you give away 500, give it away. There's no recoupable cost for that. Which may
Well,
know that.
the way that contract written up, that is what they're planning to do. Is to manufacture all these things that they can say, yes, I have $1,000 in this expense, and I have a 500, and this is shipping expense, and every time somebody send it back, all we have to pay for this. This is what them premeditated to do, and this is why I say it is an attorney write up this and give it to them.
Well, for shipping and angling, I wouldn't dispute the recoupable cost, but for promotion, like, unless it's agreed, say, all right, the artist, the record company say, all right, Fitzroy, I'm gonna give you 50 CD, which is promotional. So if I say I want another 50, then I have to pay, and that 50 will be recoupable. But it all have to be stipulated in the contract. But this contract we are talking about now is a contract where this company don't spend $1, but what they want to recoup.
Right.
What are they gonna recoup?
Now I'm wondering if
that's my question.
I'm wondering if the said person has spent his entire finances on packaging, the final product, which is, let's just say, the CD, for instance, and you've spent your money on mixing, mastering, and packaging and doing everything, right? So if what is this contract in itself? If the record label hasn't really spent any one particular dime, again, what kind of money are they going to recuperate? I'm left scratching my head here.
Well, this is the point that we're homing in on that Fitzroy brought to us. This guy is a young guy, first set of records, plus they're distributing the record already. But what they're smartly doing is going around and giving each person who they're only distributing for these type of contracts. So I have a distribution contract where it's a standard 80-20. So if I go around to 100 producers that are distributing for and get each one of them to sign a record like this for one of the top artists that's selling, then we will get to own the record, is what the scam is about. And you can't revoke it. And now that we give us a distribution deal, we give you a distribution deal. Even when you take back that record, they're not distributing again. We're going to compile all these different artists from 50 different producers, and then we're going to own it, which is what we catch them doing. This is what they're smartly doing. You see, and I say, a contract is, if you're stupid enough to sign a contract like that, then it's hard to go tell the judge or the court, and the court will have to enforce it.
Yeah, because it sounds like they want the right to re-release at any given time whenever they want to and make money off of it.
Well, they say in perpetual. That means if you have a distribution deal with them that end tomorrow, and you sign this, and then they go to 50 different producers with the same exact thing, and 50 producers sign it and sign how much song them give to them. That's how much song they're going to get for themselves to keep distributing after your distribution deal done with them. And guess what? You're only entitled to 3%, and all this clause that them going to throw in, and all this expense that them can just make up and shove at you. So you never ever get how much money you think you're going to make when them keeping 97 cents and you're only getting 3% royalty.
Lady General.
Yes, sir.
Talk to me. What is your interpretation?
Man, this is so scary. These words are just wrong on so many levels, and
well, the double Dutchness of this, that's what I call it, of this contract. I mean, when you hear things like the irrevocable and perpetual rights, yeah, what does that say to the lame person out there who is looking at this contract and is like scratching his head and thinking, what the hell am I reading? What should that normal everyday artist look at, flag up and say, okay, I need to stay away from this. What does perpetual mean?
You know, the thing is that a lot of people will look at that as a layperson, and really because they don't understand any of the words themselves, but they trust the people that are asking them to sign it, including giving, you know, authority to maybe their producer to advise them in that way and sign it. It really scares me. But the advice I would give to people is, if you are reading something and you don't understand it, don't sign it. Just don't sign it. I know it's hard. I know times are hard. And I know that for some people, the only way out of a situation is to get some kind of a deal, a record deal, or some kind of, you know, link and establishment in the record industry. But don't sign it if you don't understand it, and take it to people that you trust. People always say, you know, I don't have money to go to a lawyer, but there are lots of lawyers. And look, we have the internet now. You can Google it, right? And there are lots of attorneys that will sit down with you and give you a free half an hour or an hour consultation, you know, or even if they're charging you a nominal fee to look at that contract for you, it's worth it. But please make sure you do all your homework and go to a lawyer that knows the music business and that knows contracts within the music business. Go to someone specialized, you know.
Well, is the same thing that that scumbag attorney did with Bob Marley estate, and the judge should have enough brains in his head to know and see it as an immoral contract. Because here's what: if I'm writing a contract and I write in English, and I come and use one German word, which like in perpetual to a lot of people going to be German or French or something else, it's a word them never hear, right? And work for hire. You see, what happened is the Bernie Convention says that the only way the artist cannot own it is if him sign it. What the scumbag attorney do is go and have the artist Bob Marley sign work for hire. When this is the man first at a record, him do have no counsel. Him just want to get a deal for pull himself and him pick and him wife from out of the ghetto. Of course, at first, him look like him getting a big deal. But Bob Marley never did know that going to be one of the biggest selling record that going to sell millions. And him and him kids, them can't get a next penny. You see, the judge was supposed to have enough brains in him head and tell the attorney them that is an illegal contract. Because guess what? You could understand if he's somebody who's seasoned to the business and could afford an attorney and them sign that contract, then that would be something else. But this is a poor person. This is him first deal. Him don't know anything. Don't know anything. And him take this comeback attorney take advantage of the Bob Marley estate with just that same word, work for hire. The man never know what work for hire mean. You see, what should be the law? That when you use work for hire, you have to define what work for hire mean. Work for hire mean you'll never ever get an penny after this. I doubt if Bob would have signed it. Or any artist would have signed something like that.
What made this particular artist approach you in particular?
Well, friend, we develop a friendship, we develop trust. Him know that I have a lot of experience, and him say I'm not about to take advantage of anybody. So him come to me as a person, you know, we and him in the same neighborhood. Met him through, you know, we in a social group together amongst other friends. So him come to me with a person as the experience. He got to Jamaica, he spending money, and he's trying to do it right because he got the ASCAP, him fill out all the work, registration form, him do everything, and he's trying to do it by the book. That the artist, I tell you, somebody did them do over a Laxa Castell song. And the only thing him using to the bass line. And him going out as him way to go find the person who play the bass so him can put it in the work registration form. So if anything big happen with this song, at least the person who played the bass line can get them like a pension. So him showing to me that him trying to do it right. Right? What happening is the record company them and them scumbag attorneys. And they will put on a dance and they will dress up nice and come into the court, knowing very well that they are assisting them clients in committing fraud.
But scientists, You know, sir, a judge is a banker, right?
A judge is a banker. Well, I know them belong to.
No, by law, a judge is a banker who cater for the revenue. So wherever they can see revenue growth, they will protect that. You know, that's their job, you know.
That's a conflict that's what I've been pointing out. There's too much conflict of interest with money and the law and the system. This is why part of the reason.
I remember we have a book named This Business of Music book. All what we are discussing now, there are these books that they submit for we to read. As a Lady General said, the internet, they're all on there. And all these terminologies are there.
Give us
people
that
will
info.
read them and them educate us to miseducate us.
Give us the information of those books. Give us the
Yes.
information. Give us the information, Fitzroy.
No, This Business of Music book is one of the most renowned books in music history.
Right.
You know what I say? If you have the intellectual property right books, which they all are there.
Yeah, but Fitzroy, me and you know, especially when it comes to Jamaica, you have some of them people there. Well, nowadays,
We're not talking about Jamaica, we're talking about the world, you know, because this Business of Music books, a lot of people in Jamaica.
Yes, but here is what happened. Here's what happened.
Book written by Sidney Shemel and Williams.
It's little better, but if you don't know what to go research, then you're gonna be blind. Right? You have a bunch of artists right here, them born right here in America.
Scientists, intellects in Jamaica. The intellects, because remember we have the intellects in Jamaica. Edward Siago, Beverly, name them.
I hear that, but what I'm talking about,
they know about these laws. That's why
they know about it. But what I'm talking about is like here in America, run into an artist. Hey man, I have this record here. I want you to help me put it out. Blah blah blah. You know what you're supposed to get? No. And then you point him to somewhere, and him start seeing words that him don't know about, and him just eager to go get what you call it, a record contract. Somebody who him think is a reputable record company put a contract like that in front of him. Him probably going to sign it, and him born right here in America where him have internet, but he using languages, and then these things not just in front of anybody's face. What I think need to happen, right? They should have a board that look at contracts.
Well, you need to find that board because Island Record come to Jamaica, come sign a lot of artists and sign away a lot of them rights, including Black Horo.
Well, yes, they do it. But
the artists, Ainika Moses, name them.
I sink them. I sink them career.
You know what I mean? Them own them career.
I own them career. They even have parts inside of it that says, well, then if I spend money on you and you break out of my contract and go about your business, and somebody else come up independent and spend money on you and put out a record, then now because I did put you out there and get you known as Bob Marley, I need to attach myself to you as a parasite and suck more blood from you. Them think there's some wicked business. And all of them, you see, all of them is like them go to the same school. When you look at the contracts, all of them contracts read the same way. Like you know, I just don't want to get into the name call, but a bunch of them out there, when you look at them, is the same wordings. Like, oh yeah, these look at Jamaican artists, they're stupid, they don't know what they're doing. You just give them a couple $100 and by the time them change it out in Jamaica, they look like they have all this money. And when you look, they sell 3,000 record, that is $30,000, and then giving the producer what 3 cents out the people purchase the artist what 3 cents out of it. So they get to what? Keep $30,000, $29,000, and give you what you call it, $3,000 for you and your producer to share, or $30,000. You see, them thing there's crookery.
You know, in a way, we have to fix up. In a way, we have to fix up. You know what I'm saying? We have to arm ourselves with the knowledge because we're partly to blame. We're partly to blame because if that's the attitude that they have of certain artists, you know, whether, you know, they class us in Caribbean or Jamaican or whatever, you know, we have to fix up. It's time now. Wouldn't you agree? It's time.
Yeah, but
I know the scientists emphasize on Jamaica. What are the scientists? I know you emphasize on Jamaica, but if you check the American society of music, that's why I say a man like Sam Cooke, who was the first artist to own and publishing. Kill Sam Cooke, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Because Sam Cooke know the business.
Well, once you know
all that we are
business,
discussing now, all that we are discussing right now, Sam Cooke did have that vision. Because his manager did want to own everything. And said, no, I am the owner of everything. It's the artists employ people, you know, the artists employ managers, producers, songwriters, etc.
At the time, the artists, you see them as artists, and academically, I know a bunch of them can't even sign them name. No one know.
That's why you have that's why they have to link people who is educated more than them.
Well, yes, but a lot of times what happened. What happened a lot of times, the person who them rely on is that more educated than them, end up robbing them.
That's
so
right.
I tell you what, let me come to Roddy Campbell. Roddy.
Yes, General.
I want to ask you, as an artist, and you see a contract like that, how do you approach contracts? Have you ever approached a contract? And if you did, how did you approach it?
I've approached contracts before. The whole issue is one has to understand what is a contract in the first place. And this is where I think a lot of the artists, and I am speaking specifically to Jamaican artists, is they don't know what a contract is. A contract is an agreement between two or more parties for the doing or not doing of something specified. An agreement enforced by law. So once the artists understand that you're going into and you're looking at and you're reading or you were given a piece of paper that by law can get into a whole lot of rigmarole, the artist, I mean, I've said it before on this show, that I am asking all the artists to just slow down. I've gotten contracts before. I said to the person, can I keep this contract for at least a day or two so I can read it, I can go over it. I give my wife everything to read. She used to work for a lawyer before, so she sees things that I don't. And what I'm saying to the artist is when someone, what is a contract? You know, there's artists out there that I personally know that they're given a so-called contract where they sign it, but the other person don't sign it. And I said, that's not a contract.
That's a draft.
I said, that is not a contract. It's not a draft. It's not agreement. It is absolutely nothing. A contract is something that two people, is like a marriage. When you sign the marriage license, two people come together in an agreement that the law can play its role eventually in that whole scenario.
Enforcing a contract.
That's right. Where this contract that you just read a while ago, somebody hand me that contract. With my knowledge of the business, I would say you need to wheel and come again. Because you're not pull
it up.
You need to really wheel and come again. You know, you see stupid written across my forehead. You know,
I tell you what, I've had a situation whereby I've approached Jetstar, and at the time I produced an album called The Hype Up Rhythm, and I took all the artists with me for this meeting, you know, with Mr. Palmer at the time, and he said to us that he will mix and master my works, and then he will put it out and recuperate his costs. So I said, rather than you do that, I said, I will mix and master, you know, the works myself. So that is what I did. I went away, mixed and mastered it. I spent everything on this packaging, yeah. Put it on CDs, had it all wrapped up, everything looked nice, presented it to Mr. Palmer, but yet he wanted to own my life for the next 5 years, and I don't make a dime.
He's an idiot. He's an absolute idiot.
and
he's an idiot.
The way
plain and simple, he's an idiot, because if you bring something like that to somebody like General Culture who can read and write, you're an idiot. What do you think General Culture is going to do? Okay, let's do this. Now, if you flip, sorry, scientist, if you flip this whole scenario with you, General, over onto the other side to a Jamaican artist who don't understand none of what you just said from a personal standpoint, they're just going to sign it. Now, in perpetual is one word. work for hire is one word, and we concentrate a lot on those two words.
Yeah.
What you read at just that piece in that contract, and this is why artists need to understand, because you have a lot of, say, producers or record companies. They don't write the contract. Their lawyers write the contract. And some of them don't even understand the contract itself. So the lawyer understand all these words, because all these words that they're using in contracts, like such as the one you just read, these are all words that are legal words.
Yeah.
And this is where the artists them fall off of the truck, because the artists them don't understand legal words, legal terms, legal phrases. And this is why I say this show is a very powerful show, because it is here. This show is here to empower the artist. It is also here to expose the crap.
Yeah. Not only that, you see what the liars them do. The liars them say, okay, let me look on what the law demands. Okay, the law demands that the only way this person lose the land title is if the person signed the title. That means that the renter can't go to the land and title place and say, well, then the landlord died, and now I own the house and give it to them before they die. They don't want to do that. So what the scumbag attorney do is go and look at the law and write something to get around the law, which is having and is not demand. There is no demand or anything. As you say, a contract, if you know what it is, you can say, well, then I don't want to work for hire. Bob Marley, him had a contract, and a part of it was written in German. And it's weird. The court needed was to enforce the 3.3b of the barcode that the scumbag attorney signed, that he is supposed to not do anything unethical. That's a part.
Well, the other thing too that I want the artists them, somebody playing music in the background.
Who is that? Okay.
Who's playing music? The other thing I want the artists them to understand too also, because one of my best friends for over 15 years, she's a lawyer. She's not an entertainment lawyer, but she's a lawyer. She's my very good friend. Everything I get as far as paperwork, I tell her to look it over and tell me what she thinks. And a lot of times she said, take it back to them because this don't make no sense. Right? So when the lawyers drop these papers or these contracts, and you take it to a poor little Jamaican artist from, the ghetto who want bust out, as Lady General said earlier, you can understand they want to get out, they want to this, but don't be penny wise and pound foolish, because what you make today by signing that contract is what you're going to lose tomorrow.
Well, look at what happened in Bob Marley's situation. I understand it, and it is why the court should use its discretion, overturn that contract. This man come from one of the poorest parts of Jamaica. It can't get any poorer than that.
Now, but here's the thing, scientists with Bob Marley. The court would never overturn that based on morality.
What?
The court
morality?
They're not going to do it because it's an immoral contract. Because him come from a poor neighborhood. Court is just going to be the court.
The reason why
don't talk over each other. Hold on. Let one person talk at a time.
Yeah, but
please.
the reason why them was supposed to overturn it based on morality, because the attorney who write up a contract before him get him bar license, he agreed not to do anything unethical. That's why it overturned.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
But if you look at it from a legal standpoint.
Yeah, but you see, to get around the thing where you're going to come with a legal standpoint, once you can show that something was immorally done, because the lawyer signed that before him get him lawyer license, that I'm not supposed to take part in anything criminal if something is immoral. I'm not supposed to do it. They ignore that part of the bar rule that them sign. So based on that, and then again, what all reputable record companies will do, they will make you get an attorney before you sign a contract with them.
Go ahead, Roddy.
Yeah, so again, this is what this show is all about. It's to inform and educate the artists them coming up now, even the veteran artists them who is still here and still performing and still singing, to understand what a contract is. It's a binding agreement
Legally binding agreement.
Legally binding agreement. Don't just because somebody
force.
I'll give you a story. The first producer I worked with here in Toronto, the first record I did with him, he had this little piece of paperwork that him draw up, and him, we signed it, and he said, well, I didn't know nothing, but when I come home to Bobby, it's a whole different story, and he said, you can't do this with my record, you can't do that with the song, that you can't do this, you can't do this, you can't do that. And I said, first of all, we don't have a contract. He said, yes, we do. I said, show it to me, because if you show it to me, I'm going to take it to my lawyer, and I'm going to verify this. To this day, which is since 2009, he hadn't showed me that piece of paper. Right? So this is what I'm saying to the young artists, any artist, is to just stop. Stop for a second. It is within your legal rights. If you're going to go into a legal binding contract with anybody, it is within your legal right. Within 24 to 48 hours, you should have that in your hand to go over it. As scientists just said, the reputable companies will say, go take it to your attorney. Now, when you use the beep little guys from down the road, like this contract we're talking about in question, this is a bunch of baloney.
So, but not only that, excuse me, not only that, like when you're buying a house, right? Are you signing a contract? In law, they have what you call a cooling off period, where you can sign it and you have a certain amount of time. You can call us, hey, I signed this, but I'm in a cooling off period, and I want to dismiss the.
It depends. Not all sections of the law have that clause, and states differ as well.
I know, but I used that before. Yeah. If you send them written notification that you found that error.
Oh, I see.
Right. You found that error, I sign this thing, and there's an error, and you point it out, and I have written. Right. I send it to registered mail 24 hour.
So,
right.
And the other thing, sorry, General, just to finish up my point. The other thing I want to say to the artists also, if you have someone come to you right now, today, and is saying, okay, sign a contract, that's a red flag.
Right. Because if they really want you, they will wait.
That's right.
Right. Right. What I want to say right now is coming up in about 7 minutes is going to be Lorna G. And she's a reggae artist from out to the UK, one of our foundation reggae artists, and she started something called the Reggae Fraternity UK. Also, as part of this conversation will be Colin Brown, and he's going to be part of this conversation. He's a businessman himself. That's going to be coming up in about 7 minutes. I want to bless up anybody who has just joined us right now. Bless up yourself. Just before I come to Lorna G out to the UK, I want to come to Doozer. Doozer, are you there, please?
Yes, sir.
Please share with us very quickly your situation.
Yeah, like without saying names again, but somebody'd come to me, asked a rhythm, and we'd sign a contract, and then things that were signed for and agreed to in the contract didn't happen in the record. And, I went to him right away and I said, I do have a contract. We both signed and agreed to it. You have to agree to certain things. And he had since made up for it. He apologized. But the thing is, people need to know, you sign a contract, it's legally binding. Like we just said, somebody just said that it's legally binding. So you can't go, no matter if it's a mistake, if it's a redo, if it's a repress, no matter what happens or what the problem is, it needs to be corrected, because especially when it was worded in the contract of a certain, the thing with my contract was, it wasn't a big deal, but I know in reggae, people like to see who's mixed by, and I stipulated that I would like to have my name on there. In fact, it says in the contract, my name needs to be on the record as mixed by, and it didn't happen. Mistake or not, it should have been corrected, and it didn't correct it. And I actually went to the guy and I said, hey, this is a situation where I have every right to come to you and say, this wasn't corrected. You signed to certain terms, one of the terms being my name must be on the thing. on the record, not just the credits, but the actual record, it must say mixed by. And so like we talked about the other day, I don't have, what am I going to do? Go after him for $200, which is going to cost me so much money in another country. What the people need to know is before you go into a contract, you need to know what you're doing and read through that contract. And if you signed it, you cannot go back. You know, if it's in the contract that something was agreed to and like for me, I could say you can never press again. And so he even mentioned the word repress. I say you can't ever press again because this was a one-time deal for one press of a certain amount of records. So, you know, like I said, you have to do your research. And the other thing is on the other side is don't go into a deal thinking you know something. And then, you know, if you don't know about it, you need to research it. And if you don't know about it, go to the other person and say, I don't know about this, or we have an issue. Don't try to hide it from the person. Make sure it's up in the front. You know, the thing is, it's like you're a business. And if you're in a contract with another business, you have every right to talk about the situation. If there was a mistake, the contracts can be rewritten. Contracts can be revised. People can say, hey, something happened that didn't happen. We need to redo it. But the main thing is if you sign to certain stipulations, you have to go with that. And it's a mistake or not. If it's your fault or not, you're responsible for fixing those problems or that mistake or not mistake, whatever it is, you're responsible for it, and especially when you sign a contract, you know? Like for me, if I know my brethren, I'll just shake his hand. Some people I don't need to sign a contract for. You know, they're my friends. So this being a guy really from a different country.
But the problem with that, Doozer, when you just sign and your friend, what I see happen, then your son starts saying to his son, my daddy didn't say that.
And that's the problem. And that's why I must make sure that the contract, I'm saying, I've worked with other people and not had contracts, but since 2000, I always do a contract, just that simple.
Yeah,
you know,
just for that, your son's sake. Because what would happen, like with Joe Gibbs' situation now, his son take over. And well, then my daddy didn't tell me that, and there's no contract and blah 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 blah. So that's why that good for, because his son could say, well, then my daddy say after 10 years I own it.
Yeah, and that's what there's been contract. Like when I really started researching, I think it was Star Trek or some kind of show that they originally shake a hand deal. It was a shake two hands.
Most Hollywood
exactly.
Deal, they say, but here's what the difference
come back to
is.
Bite them. You know, come back to bite them.
No, here's why the difference is why it work in Hollywood is because they applying industry standard. And when somebody fall out of the industry standard and practice and you bring them to court, then the ball kind of swing back in your game. But every contract should have an exit in case the person does something to breach a contract.
And I think that is the critical thing, that you should always look for an exit in a contract.
Or to exit a contract. And the way I write it up is if you don't do this, then the contract automatically.
I guess that's what they will call a clause, right?
Let me say too for this kid out there. Sorry, but this kid, you know, this guy I worked with, he came and he made up for it. He promised, you know, he has since made up for it. Whatever, it was a mistake. Somehow something got overlooked. My name got left off. A couple things got in the record that I didn't like. Anyways, he has since made up for it. So in this situation, even though we signed a contract and I have the right to go after him, he made up for it. He said, I'm sorry. He said, I'll do whatever we can to correct this. He said, hey, I'll even let you repress it yourself and leave my name off it. I said, no, I would never leave your name off your works because that's your works. But thank God that you at least made the effort to say, hey, let me say you can take the vocal rights if you want to press it on your label, even though I would never leave his name off there. But the main thing is, you just can't go and do some of these people. And like I said, I know you guys are being nameless, but we know who they are. They have been doing this stuff for 40 years. And they keep doing it to certain people. And when they put a contract in front of somebody and there's things that they know is wrong and they don't notice it, they're excited. They're happy because they're going to get money off this person.
Here's what's going on with these people that have been doing it for 40 years. When it comes to people like me, no, scientists are a troublemaker. In America, they call it you're overqualified. Right? So what they do, they look for young blood, like Lax's friend that telling me he play all this song for Shabba Rankin, he play all this, he play all this, that, and basically his contract read the same way. Because it's the same person giving both and they are signing it. They are quick to give up them pension for $2,000 American dollar, because by the time you change out in Jamaica, it looked like you have a bunch of money, and then the worst of it coming from England, and they know this.
Yeah.
They know this over time and they keep doing it.
Right.
The other thing I want, the artists them to understand, those who are listening to the sound of our voice right now. If you come in to sign a contract between you and another party, there is no way that other person can alter or adjust that contract in any way, shape, or form without your knowledge. And if it has been altered or adjusted, you both have to sit back down again and re-sign.
See, that's a good point, Ruddy. That's an excellent point. That's what I was just saying. You have to re-sit down and reevaluate. Say if there's a problem.
Let me tell you how you get around that. By default, right? Whenever you sign a contract, whenever the person send you the contract that them want you to sign, you make the person sign it first. Because if you sign it without them sign it and you have a contract, then they can go back and write words like in perpetual and all kind of things that you never say. And then you must keep a copy of the contract. Now, when you keep a copy of the contract that they sign, and then when you sign it, they keep a contract, so both people have a contract. Anything that's after that person signed it, it cannot be enforced. And you should just put a clear clause that says, anything here, like what Roddy is saying, that alter that come after the fact of signatures, of both signature, is not admissible in the contract and cannot be enforced. That after
we should initial certain paragraphs as well.
That's the next good point, is to make sure that you initial, and most attorneys will make sure that you initial each paragraph, because the reason for that is them saying that you had read it and you gone over it, and then what I do, I initial straight across the paragraph because I seen how them copy things and pasting things to make it look like he did say that when you never say it.
The other thing I want artists them to understand, because I've worn out a lot of highlighters where paperwork is concerned. The other thing, that if you're an artist and you're going into a contract with someone, initially, whether you understand it or not, read through the contract. Have a pen, because them can always print you another copy. That's not the only one contract. Them can print you another one. Read through the contract with that person. If you don't understand what the word THE means, circle it. Turn the paper around to that person and said, what does that mean?
Well, not only that, I play a fool before.
That's exactly my point.
With an what this word mean? What this word mean? I already know what the word mean, but I want confirmation that I know
there
this guy
you
has
go.
come back. And him say, oh, that word means short term. In perpetual don't mean no goddamn short term. Right, so you have to know. Any word that you don't know, you don't necessarily take it from the person who asking to sign a contract. You go to a lawyer, you go on the internet nowadays and you look what that word mean. Because they will tell you anything to get you to sign a contract.
Now, the same piece of paper that you circle, you know, if you can't afford a lawyer, there is legal aid clinics and all this stuff. I don't know about Jamaica, but here in Canada, they're all over the place. You can take that same piece of paper and you can say to that person or lawyer speaking to, and says, all these that I've circled, the person that I'm coming to the agreement with based upon this contract, I asked them what these words meant, and they gave me some story way out south. Could you explain to me what these words mean? And you'd be very surprised.
Yeah, well, a lot of times, and that's a big flag. A lot of times when you're reading contract and you're reading English, and then you come up on some legal term like scintilla. Not one scintilla should go back to you. Well, that immediately is a red flag, because how much people know what scintilla mean in legal terms. So once you read in English and you see a word that you don't know, just put on that in your book as a red flag.
Okay, that's guys, right. I tell you what I want to do right now. I want to come to my UK family crew, okay? And talking about Lorna G and Colin Brown, they're going to be part of this show. I'm going to make a link with them right now. Before I do that, just take a listen to this. It's called Prophecy by Lorna G. right, what I'm trying to do right now is I'm trying to make a link with Lorna G and add her to this call. So just bear with me while I try and work this out.
Greetings, Mama D. Good to see you.
Okay, you're most probably wondering what I'm up to. Okay, now what has happened is Skype seemed to have updated their system. Now I'm trying to add Lorna G to the Reggae Biz talk show, and it's proving to be a pain in the neck. So let me just, while I try and fiddle around, some of you guys might get cut off. If you do, please bear with me, okay? As a matter of fact, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut this call with you guys and see if I can add it that way, and then recall everybody back. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So that's what I'm gonna do. Please bear with me, ladies and gentlemen, while I try to work this out. Okay. Let's see if I can add Lorna G to this call. Let's see. Add. Where do I add? Oh, okay. Let's play another track. Okay, let's play another track. This is Lorna G, ladies and gents.
In the rapping style, Lord, you see me no nervous, me no shy. I beg you don't compare me with Lady Di. In the rapping style, Lord, I say my finger clip, yeah, my hand to clap, yeah, my head is started to rock the rock, booba rock, booba rock, booba 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 rock. Because what you gonna hear is Brixton rock. I said I wanna tell you something about Brixton town. I don't care you feel, I don't care if you're from. White people always seem to have a bad impression, but now I come to give it just a little correction. Brixton is a place where I lay my bed. We smoke sense in me until it blows my head. Yeah, listen to the words that the old man said. In this town, take care or you end up dead. Now there's a posse called the Raiders, feeling sweet in them Mercedes. If you're rocking to the song, I wanna hear you say this. Whoa, whoa, say whoa, whoa. Now the main attraction is Brixton Market. You can buy food, buy clothes, even a coffee. Yeah, go ahead, just buy the lot. We don't care, we know we got the stock. Now you can find me down the line, maybe Acre Lane. Hello.
Hello, Lorna G. How you doing?
I'm very fine, thank you very much. How are you?
Oh, Lord have mercy. I'm scratching my head trying to add everybody to this call. And for the life,
technology, isn't it?
I'm telling you, something that should have been so simple is proving to be so hard.
Wow.
So please bear with me while I try and just re-add everybody back to the call, yes? Just bear with me while I try and work this out.
Okay.
Right, let's see. Let's see if we can get scientist. All right, let's try and add him back. Doozer. Okay, where's Doozer? Okay, we see if I can add him. Let's see if I can add them back and see if they will answer. I don't know why they changed this. And normally you would, yes, good. Doozer. Okay, still trying to make a link with him. Okay, Maureen. Let's see if we can add her. All right, Roddy Campbell. Let's see if we can get Roddy Campbell. All right. Roddy Campbell. Who we missing? Fitzroy Francis. Fitzroy. All right, here we go. I guess that's how we're going to do it. Re-add everybody back. Who am I missing? I'm missing someone. Christopher. I can't forget Chris. All right, Christopher Hills. All right, here we go. Right, everybody who is here right now, our guest is here, Lorna, the foundation, the queen, of UK reggae music.
Greetings, Lorna.
Greetings, everyone. Hi.
Hi, ma'am.
Yeah. Hi, also from Colin Brown.
Colin Brown, how you doing, sir?
Greetings, Colin.
Hi.
Right, just so that Lorna and Colin knows who is part of this panel, we have scientists from the days of King Tubby's.
Okay.
We have Christopher Hills, who I'm sure you know.
Hey, Chris.
We have Fitzroy Francis, who is from Manifold 13 Records out to the USA.
Greetings.
Greetings.
We have Roddy Campbell, who is a reggae artist out of Canada, also a musician. Roddy Campbell.
Greetings, Colin and Lorna.
Greetings.
We have Maureen, who is Lady General, who is part of Stockade Promotions and Stockade Records and Stockade everything. Lady General.
Hi.
Hi, Lady General.
Hi, blessings and welcome.
I think we're missing Doozer. For some reason, we're unable to connect with Doozer, but we're going to start.
I think he's there now.
No, he's disconnected for some reason. It could be the internet. But without delay, I'm going to get this show started. And one of the reasons, sorry, my voice. One of the reasons why I started, this show was to arm the artist with knowledge. And then, lo and behold, we come to realize that Lorna G and many other artists who are out to the UK decided to start Reggae Fraternity, and it's so amazing how like minds sync at the same time, I would imagine. And what you're doing is also awesome, so I wanted to get you onto the show to so that basically you can tell us why the need to start Reggae Fraternity UK and the essence of it.
Okay. Yes. Well, I started it. Actually, it was a post that I saw on Facebook a few months ago, or a couple of months ago, with from Winsome Borrell, who's an artist, one of the singers that we've been performing with for many years, and it was just to say, she had put out a status saying that she had was a part of a Lovers Rock show, and the show was cancelled at the last minute, and she wasn't told, and she was quite upset about that, and so it started a long thread, and we was like, really, these things are still happening? This is 2015, and straight up the same day, one of our drummers, Noel Tupper, who we play with very many shows, he had the same status, saying that he was doing a show, and the promoter cancelled on them at the last minute, whilst the band had spent all this money rehearsing and all this kind of thing. And I found out it was a different show, and that just kind of pushed me and motivated me to start it. Just started as a Facebook group, basically. Just let's start a group. Let's talk about this, guys, because this cannot be 2015. We've been performing for like 30 odd years, making records, touring on all kinds of stuff. And we're still in this situation where, promoters are cancelling shows without telling us. We're not getting paid what we're supposed to be getting. It brought up a lot. It's not only just that. It brought up a lot. We started to reflect, and we started to say, okay, you know what? We need to get together and let's talk. Let's start some dialogue about the reggae industry in UK. In the UK, where are we? What's going on? What do we have to show for the amount of years that we've put in to recording, to touring, to doing shows all over the country and all over the world. Actually, where are we on the map of reggae music in Britain? So that's where UK Reggae Fraternity started, to basically create dialogue. We set up a meeting. Quite a few artists came out to the meeting. Tony Williams, Carol Thompson, Audrey Scott, Winsome Burrell, Andrew Slowly, Winsome Moncrief, Amaziah. Many artists came, and industry people too. And we just had a talk. We flashed it out. What's wrong? What's going wrong? Where is the professionalism within our business? What is this? And everybody had something to say, which was great. And so we decided that let's go away and take these issues and these challenges. Let's go away and see what we can do about it. See what we as a fraternity can do about it. And that's where we are. We're at this process of talking, and seeing what we can do about where we are at the moment.
So when you flashed out all these points to the many artists that may have been there at the time when you started your first seminar, what was the general feedback and reaction you got when all these points were being made?
Well, the general consensus was there's no lack of professionalism in the industry. A lot of people in the industry are unbusinesslike. A lot of people work in isolation with very little cooperative, and just no contracts. My goodness gracious. I mean, I've been listening to you guys talking, and a lot of it, I myself, I must say, I have to go from my own experience, that I was in the music business for a long time without any contracts. I was recording with Mad Professor from the 80s, and I did sign contracts with Mad Professor. But at the time, I didn't really have anyone looking over them for me. And so I think that was, on my part, that was probably a little bit of a downfall. And I realized that a lot of us are operating without signing contracts. We are going in the studio because we love music, and we feel a vibe, and we go in the studio and we record the studio without thinking that actually, publishing, your author rights, copyrights, performing rights, and all of these kind of things. We're not taking these kind of things into consideration. And so therefore we get burned. So we have to take responsibility. I myself, and this is another reason why I've started doing this Reggae Fraternity, because I have to take responsibility for my actions and for my ignorance, if you like. And also for the youngers coming up, man, they're going to be looking at us and saying, well, if they want to be doing music, what do we have? So where's their motivation? So basically, this is a lot of what is to do with too. We need to get professional. We need to take that professional status and make sure we have contracts in place. And that's what Reggae Fraternity is going to offer. That's what we're going to offer too. We're going to offer that kind of advice. We've got people like the wonderful Christopher Hills, who you've got there, who's going to be helping us draw up basic standard contracts for artists that wants to record, that also wants to do shows. We're going to have a basic contract, that when we...
Minimum standards, that's all.
Yeah, minimum standards, and that's what's missing. That's what's missing from our business at the moment.
Thank you so much. And a little bit later, I'm going to give our panel the opportunity to ask you 1,001 questions.
Yeah, be gentle on me, please.
Be gentle. Very true. I want to come to Colin.
Yes.
How you doing?
Hi.
Just introduce yourself to the multitude of people that may not be aware of who you are.
Okay, so yeah, I'm Colin Brown. I'm currently working with a group called True Identity. My background is really sound system. I've been in the sound system scene from back in the 70s, working alongside lots of top sounds at Frontline and various South London sounds. South London is where I'm based. I worked with True Identity back in the 80s. I actually put them on stage back in the 80s. How many of us were working with contracts in those days? I was a promoter in that on that occasion. I didn't know anything about contracts then, but we're wiser now. I've been on the corporate side. I've worked for big communications companies. That's the company I currently work with, broadcasts radio and TV. But I also started back in the 90s a production unit, and one of the things that we did then was try to be professional. I joined the Musicians Union because I struggled to find proper information from just talking to people. I just realized that people wanted you to either buy the information from them or within the reggae community or whatever. It wasn't pleasant. So I thought, look, I want to get the correct information. And what I saw the Musicians Union offering was a wealth of information. I was surprised how many sort of black artists hadn't signed up to it and weren't in possession of facts and good information, and also the fact that organization offered me public liability insurance and all those type of things. So really the information and the experience I've got from actually working with groups as a promoter, working as a producer, because I actually put records out. I'm now wanting to be more on the management side. I've really got a passion for reggae back to the dancehall scene. I mean, Scientist, one of my heroes. When I want to, get down and revive and reminisce and hear a good dubbed album, it's got to be Scientist.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. So and back in the days, we heard that Scientist wasn't being credited, or he didn't know that he had all these dub albums in England. So I mean, we've been hearing all about the problems of the reggae industry, but I've crossed the line from playing the music to getting involved in making the music and working with artists. And I've got a passion for bringing what I'm used to in the corporate side into this business. And I was invited to Lorna's meeting by the one of the singers in the group that I'm managing. I just went along for a look to see what was going on, and when I heard what they were saying, it struck a chord with me, and they literally couldn't stop me from talking because I've just there was just
and he hasn't stopped since. But that's why we love him.
Amen.
In front of my eyes, I've just seen the demise of the reggae industry with the loss of Jetstar. So with the group, we put out an EP about 2 years ago, and we literally had to go and flat foot hustle ourselves. We had to take the CDs round ourselves, and previously in the 90s, I would just turn up at Jetstar, hand it to Jetstar, and it was all distributed for me.
Yeah.
I had to figure out where all the record shops were. I had to go onto Google Maps and ask people, and no one really knew where record shops were anymore. Half of them are more than half of them are closed down. So the infrastructure's gone, and also we had prominence on certain radio stations, major radio stations, and we've lost a footing on the radio stations. And so the music I love, it's gone back to when the days of my teenage days, when I was listening to music where it was only accessible by sound systems. I mean, the sound systems now are being replaced by the internet radio. But the fact is, reggae doesn't seem to, in the UK anyway, doesn't seem to be in the mainstream, which is sad, because we've made a lot of progress, and we just seem to be going backwards.
Well, I go back to the days when when we could call England the reggae capital of the world, and we stood loud and proud, and technology was a big thing that really destroyed the industry in itself, You know, as we journey forward and we look at where we're at right now, what has been apparent to me is that many of the artists, although, you know, we love going into the studios, you know, we love getting behind the microphone, putting those headphones on and voicing those tunes, and it gives you the feel good factor. But what has been apparent is we've hustled. We haven't treated this thing that we love as a business.
Yeah.
And older, if you know, it would have been nice if we were told at such a young age, if somebody around could have just told us, listen, it's good enough going into the studio, but it's now high time you started making money from it.
Yeah.
Because I was forever being told by my parents, you can't make money from music.
Yeah.
You have to become a doctor, you have to become a lawyer before you can make any money. So I guess all that played a huge part, you know. I want to ask Colin, you know, one more question. What do we need to do to get back our former glory, or even just an ounce of that?
Yeah, so everyone's talking and a lot of steam's being let off, but you need to do more than that. And there are a lot of us in the industry and friends of the industry that have professional skills. And we want to reach out to those people to bring that professionalism and work with artists, because, you know, a lot of artists aren't the best equipped people to do the business side. So it's bringing in people that, you know, are really, really passionate about reggae. And that's kind of what Lorna has done. And get those professional skills. We've got chartered accountants. You know, we've got people that, you know, have you know, one of the things Lorna said to people that wanted to join the fraternity is, what skills do you have that you can contribute to the organization? And that's what we want to do. Bring, you know, voluntary initially, but hopefully we'll be in a position where we'll be able to do this full time, because it is a full time job. Yeah. And we want to bring the thing back into being an industry, back into being a business, make it profitable. But we have to come out of the little small. I mean, I think London is sort of isolated from the rest of the UK, and London becomes London artists are sort of London centric. And we need to get back to working across the United Kingdom and all networking and coordinating and working better. So there are some things we can do, but there are friends, and it's just, I think Lorna's group is good in that she will source people that want to give their professional skills to this industry. There are people out there willing to do that.
Let me just emphasize on what Colin just said.
Yeah.
He hit a key note there just a while ago when he said that most of us are, you know, singers, musicians. I'm an actress. I'm a singer. I see myself as a very creative person. When it comes to paperwork and all of this kind of thing, this is where it drives me crazy, man. Yeah. So and I have throughout the years tried my best to learn as much as I can about what it takes to, you know, to be more professional. You know, I went back to college. I did a degree, you know, performing arts, and I learned a lot about the business side and stuff like this. And but it's not something that I love. I'm not going to say that I love the business side and to take care of the business side of thing. But there are people that are qualified for that, and that's their passion. Like the Colin here, he's perfect.
Yeah.
I was like, you know, I can, you know, completely, and I've learned so much from him already just in this few weeks. You know, I've learned so much from Colin, and it's people like this. So there's different people.
Oh, I don't know what happened there, but let's see if we can get everybody back again. There was a loud humming noise.
Okay.
There was a loud frequency noise. I had to cut
it. The good old boy club does.
Yeah. I think it was Christopher's because he conked out on us.
Okay.
Doozer is on.
Doozer is still connecting.
Yeah.
We're gonna let Lorna continue what you were saying.
Yeah, basically, yeah. So there's people that, you know, that have certain skills that can push this business forward, that can, start to get the respect from promoters, producers, and, the world, man, basically, So this is where we come in, we don't always have to be trying to fight to try and bring this up to a certain level and do stuff that we don't really know about. We can bring people in that knows about certain protocols.
I guess the artists have got to want to do this also.
Yes.
They've got to come out of their comfort zone, or if I can put it that way, and I guess one of the things that we need to be able to do is to unify. That is one of the issues I find in this industry, is that we keep fighting each other just out of recognition. Why can't we come together, become a force to reckon with?
Of course, it's in our meetings. We've spoken about Delroy Washington. He has an organization called Form, and his name's been brought up so many times in our meetings. And this is somebody we definitely want to talk to. We want to talk to him and see how we can all. There's no point us doing this fragmented. You know what I mean? We've been doing it like that for so long. Really, this is just for the truth of whatever needs to be done to bring us up to a certain level. This is all what this is for. So we're willing to talk to anyone that's doing anything like this, how we can collaborate, how we can help each other on the journey to get further,
What Stockland just said, the main thing that I find is becoming uniform, and there have to be really a truly one love. One of the problems, the major problems, and certain people is very, very good at dividing and conquer. Right, and then you have to understand the politics behind why reggae get the fight, because mainstream record radio station and the people in charge of the Good Old Boy Club don't want to hear you coming talking about the system burn down Babylon system, because they did with Bob Marley, where certain of his records, even in Jamaica, where that song that was born in Jamaica, Beat Down Babylon. I don't know if Fitzroy remember that, but that song you couldn't even play it in Jamaica one at a time. It was banned from all radio stations. So it is part of the reason why reggae get the fight that it get, and it don't end up in mainstream. What I'd like to see you people do is form an organization like you do there, and then money is always the thing that used to fuel everything. So how you going to get the money? If each artist could say, we agree to pay say £100 for the year.
That's right. That's exactly what
so we'll have a subscription, a membership, and a subscription.
But how you gonna get the artist to trust you to give you the money? Because a lot of times things like that start on one entity run up with the money. So what you have to do is to open register, whatever you call it, like we have Reggae Business Talk Show.
Absolutely.
We open an escrow account. Where one individual can go and take the money. So all the money going to that escrow account is going to grow interest, and then that is how you can get to know after the artist's personal injury insurance, so forth.
So thank you. Who's this talking? Sorry.
Scientist.
That was the scientist.
Scientist. Oh, okay. Scientist. I appreciate that. These are the stuff that's been coming up,
So one of the members of the organisation is a chartered accountant, and she's helped.
She's our treasurer.
And she's our treasurer. So she's helped set up many small businesses, and she's on board with us, working out the correct type of organisation we're going to be. We can't be a charity because we're looking to earn more than £10,000.
So under that umbrella, she opened an escrow account where the money go into, and the money that they collect for artist dues, that money goes into it. So one person, the bank have an instruction that one person can't run off with the money.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So at the end of each year, at the end of whatever calendar date or whatever you all decide, well, then you see how much money is there, and then after all the expenses paid, then if you tell the artist them, well, then you're going to get back 2% of your money. Then everybody might be glad to put it up.
Yeah.
Something along that line.
Yeah. There are many ways, especially in England, of making money. There's lots of organisations that are prepared to. We have a lottery fund that funds lots of artistic endeavours. Unfortunately, because many of us are not organised, we're not drawing and we're not claiming what's there to be had. So, what I should have said at the beginning actually is I was a member of another organisation, the Black, many years ago, and what I've done is I'm drawing on that experience not to repeat the mistakes of the past. Because the organisation doesn't exist anymore. So I understand what happened there. Again, people, the same sort of thing you were just saying, people walking off with things. In fact, what was stolen from that organisation was a database of personal information. Personal information, and an individual went off to start another organisation. And in fact, you talked about the industry trying to divide us, and that's exactly what happened in that particular instance. Where the funding body was trying to separate or create a more convenient group that they could work with.
Well, one example of that is when I hear like people, you Lyda Cox and Josh Shaka, right, from Dear Warden, right, put so much into this business, and the only person they could find to anoint is Mr. So-and-so. You know, that also tells me that the royal family is listening to reggae. Every time you look, it's never one of us.
Yeah,
it's always everybody else.
Yeah.
And that's part of the problem. To solve it, but to solve it is the unification. There have to be a really true one love where a popular artist who is going on tour, he invite artists who probably not so popular to come and open up for him, so forth, and then set up a true union that is based off one love. You see, one of the problem is some of these artists can't wait for the next one come off a stage so them can go put themselves on stage. Right, and it's not good for you to stay in the spotlight too long because you get your Jerry curls melt. You get in and get out of the spotlight and don't wear out your welcome.
Let me come to Christopher Hills.
I'm here. Hang on.
My old English friend. Anything you might want to ask Lorna?
Well, Lorna and myself have been chatting quite a lot anyway, so
yeah.
I think, I mean, from an outside point of view, because I obviously have not been as closely connected as the artists have been over the years. And I was mucking around in the late 80s and early 90s and left it and went into housing and then came back into it. And I was shocked that nothing had changed. Really shocked that in a period of 17 years, there was not a single change in actions or anything that had taken place, and yet the rest of the world had moved on. And I think that I've sat from the outside and listened to lots of people talk about reggae industry, but from a completely individual point of view and not being connected to music, I don't see an industry at all.
No, there's not really an industry because the business part of it is not satisfied or looked after.
Oh God, not again. Somebody is having some problems. All right, let's get everybody back again and see what happens.
Yeah, I think every time Deuce try to call us.
Yeah. Yes.
But Lorna, I'm understanding you work with MCPS.
No, that's
Winsome.
Oh, that's Lisa.
Yeah,
Okay.
we wasn't able
Winston
to
was,
get.
Winston was supposed to be on
Yeah, I had to
on
change
one of
the
us.
day.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she was unable to come on today.
yeah.
But Winston is on board.
Well,
She's
well,
on.
well, well. It need, because here's what most artists, right, is not academically, or is not their job to do the
That's
thing
right.
like what you're talking
That's
about.
right.
Right. So this is where, like, an organization, if you're an artist, you come, you join this organization. If you need somebody to read a contract, we have an onboard attorney that can read a contract.
Yes.
All the money that you take, it go into an escrow account. If you have to pay bills, all the bills have to get accounted for.
Absolutely.
And then it have to be a public record, so everybody see where the money is.
Yes.
And who take out the money. So you, if
We've even
one,
got- We've
huh?
even, sorry to cut you. We've even got Winston, because she works with PRS. She's going to come and do a workshop, you know, and we're just going to invite people, whoever was interested, to come, and she just talk everyone through, you know, copyrighting your material, what happens with PRS and NCPS, you know, and kind of enlighten people really. You know, also we'll have talks about contracts and stuff like this, and we'll be able to give out advice. This is why we're here.
Yeah. Well, under your organization that you start in here, it can do all of that, because as soon as the word spread,
yeah,
right, I have something online, and I make no mistake, you know, you can take your technology. It's a blessing.
Oh my gosh.
And a curse, because is what caused all of us here now to be on here talking.
Yes.
That whole world can use it. So the same technology, if you keep pushing it, and everybody keep doing what it's doing, it could be grown into one big giant.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Industry that satisfied the business part of it, but the whole thing boiled down to trust and setting up an organization that one person can't take the money out the bank.
Yes.
The bank will get an instruction that before this money can release, A, B, C, D, and this X amount of member have to be signed up. So
That's
one
right.
Absolutely.
That's right. Yeah.
Can't run off with the money. One of the things that we could do in addition to that is I would like to come to the UK, right, where we could find like a popular artist, right, or artist, and would put on shows, right, and then use part of that money now to fund other things. At first, we do it like a daytime seminar,
right,
for all the artists them who want, and then you'd have all the farms and the different membership things. So say you put on a show, and if you pay $50, right, $20 will take towards your membership fee. Right, stuff like that.
Okay.
Stuff like that, and then by the time you know it, just like how Facebook and all of these things grow, you know, you might have X amount of member in 6 months, and all that money go into an escrow account, which if everybody agree, then you can use part of that money now. It don't make sense you have $200,000 sitting in the bank, and then you don't have somebody who know how to play the stock market with it or invest part of that money. And so that money come back in, this is what I think JCAP should be doing. If they're collecting all of this money, part of it, so okay, if you're supposed to get $20, we're gonna keep back, say, $5 out of it to now create an insurance fund. Now we know if we have 100,000 people into an insurance fund, it's not 100,000 people at once is going to need insurance. That is what the insurance company bank on. So they have 2 million people giving them money every day. But how much million out of the 2 million people gonna want money right away? Not all. So they're taking money from Peter and give to Paul. And we kind of set up a similar thing. Right, where we do a show, we invite all of these artists to come to the show. You buy a $30 ticket. $10 out of this ticket is going to go back into this dues that you pay. I wish if they come with a different word, because I want to pay somebody else more than those damn Jews all the while.
Stop it. But continue.
It's funny. We are planning we're planning like a launch event in October where we're going to have a lot of the artists and a few of the veteran artists, and the event is basically to just kind of attract interest to the organization, what we're doing, and to attract members, obviously.
Yeah. Well, a workshop at there, because during showtime people want to listen to music. They don't want to hear talking about that. So you do the show in the seminar in the day.
In the daytime, exactly. Yeah.
Before the show, and then all the people who pay, you can do it two ways. You can pay your $50 and $20 outtake go towards your due. Right, and then if somebody just want to come and hear the show, them come at night time and then pay a regular just show ticket.
Right. Those are fantastic ideas.
Yeah,
Really,
that's a good idea.
Really lovely ideas. Really lovely.
Well, this is a plant that lubricated my brain to think so fast.
I mean, we have an idea for something next year, which will be bigger than that. I mean, we don't want to go into too much of it now, but we do want to get some of the big organizations in that actually help with the infrastructure. So, we've got an idea for something next year. Once we got the membership there and we can speak, we got a voice for a body of people, and we're representing them, then we can start moving up the chain, speak to the big people and say, we need you to come and talk to us and help us in what we're trying to do.
Yeah, so, but sets up in a way where is the artists where can't elect the president, the person, and then you set it up where the president can get fired if him not doing.
Oh yes, proper voting, annual chairman, annual voting.
Yeah, because what we find going on with some of them organization is the body them elect somebody. And then there is no transparency as to how much money come in and where the money actually going, because none of these artists in Jamaica them get a check, but integrity is the name. You have to have a company with integrity so people and artists them start to trust it.
Oh yeah. I mean, depending on what type of company we are, if organization we are, sorry. Once if you're a limited liability
LLC,
then all that is published and freely available for people to see on the internet. So
this is when people start trusting the organization more. When you have that type of a transparency. What I see go on with the rest of them, there is not enough transparency. We are like if it's a Walls, it's a public traded company. Because look how much reggae artists is around the world. All right, if you could put all of them under one umbrella, right, and you get each person to give you X amount, and that money it's going just go and sit into this bank account. Well, we know it's not. We guarantee each member after we get certain amount of money. We guarantee each member. Well, then, if you have an emergency or something like that, you can get this amount of money.
Partner, this is why the partner was set up, isn't it? It was set up. Through love, through love of of your neighbor, of your fellow man.
Well, yeah, because when I look and I see junior boys laying down into a trash can, them think they're not right, and they have J-cap on them, and then again I blame the Jamaica government because you see, the only thing that put Jamaica on the map, right, is Rasta, marijuana, ganja, and the reggae. That's what put Jamaica on the map. And the people who give Jamaica a name, like junior bars. The government's supposed to have something set up where are the same J-cap that do to junior bars. Or if somebody out there violating them copyright, then them check it up, because you need a set of lawyers now on the team. Well, then this guy copyright been violated. Go file the proper paperwork inside the court and seek justice. So whoever collecting Junior Ball's money, don't keep collecting it and pass it down to them grandkids while you have the man lying down in a trash. That is not acceptable.
No.
Yeah.
Well, I want to come to Lorna and to give us some information on the Reggae Fraternity in the UK pages that you might have, and information that, you know, where people can join, or who can they contact, and so on and so forth. Give us some information about the Reggae Fraternity.
Okay. Well, Reggae Fraternity, if you want, anybody wants to join up, you can email the Reggae Fraternity UK at outlook.com. We are in the process of setting up a website. It should be up and running within the next 3 weeks.
Also. That's our aspiration.
Okay, good.
Yeah. And
Damn, is a pity you didn't contact me on that, because I could have put up one for you in 20 minutes that can do all the way talking about collect the money, blah, 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 in 20 minutes.
Yeah. There's a certain UK twist we need to put on it, and it's, you know, there are things that we need to do to support the artist here, that we've identified some gaps in what exists here. So
there's quite a few. There's a few things that we're kind of talking about. What we're trying to cover, what we're trying to cover, and there, you know, it's we just want to get, rather than rush things. We just want to try and get. We just want to get things kind of stable.
So you're gonna be setting up a website, and then you're going to be posting a link where people can join. They send you an email where people can join.
Yeah.
But you can join through the website. You'll be able to join.
Yeah,
through
the website.
Yeah.
Okay.
At the moment, this is the sure way to get involved is to email us. That is what we've got up and running at the moment.
Well, make no mistake. You know, if you know to use Facebook properly, is a very important tool, because you see, one thing that we could do is to check out a Facebook ad, and with a Facebook ad, you could target just artists or just members, people who want to support, and then the next thing that you'd do, you'd set up a PayPal account where if people want to either donate or people want to pay their dues. But again, it have to set up like a cooperation and not a single person account.
No.
Which is actually an escrow account where the bank know you can't release the money.
That is already in place. That's completely in place, sir. Because I think everybody, we kind of all want the same kind of cooperative thing. So yeah, basically, we do have a Facebook group, which
you should post it here so we can see that and post it.
Sure, because at the moment, scientists, it's not. We haven't really opened it out, and this is something that we just discussed. We was just discussing yesterday. We haven't really opened it out to the public. It's more for musicians and artists at the moment. And we was thinking of probably opening it up, or making another one that is more accessible for everybody.
Well, it would be good if you have one for everybody, because you have the fans them.
Yeah, right, exactly.
That want to support the artist, and when some of the fans them hearing how Junior by lying down a trash can, if there was a way that they trusted, well, they were looking for money for Junior by, and they know it's something that they can trust, and the money go in fact reach Junior by and not going into some individual pocket. Then you find we could have cured a lot of the situations that are occurring. How did you find out about our program?
Through Facebook.
Through Facebook, okay.
There you go.
Chris posted in Facebook.
Okay, good. Well, it's good.
Seriously, because I found out through the station on Facebook. I've been seeing posts from yourselves for quite a while. Before any of this even started, I've been seeing posts and stuff from Stockade Radio. So, and it was through Facebook. I've seen this.
Well, going back to echo what's his name? The gentleman that's on your side.
Colin?
Colin.
Yeah, Colin,
yeah. Going back to what Colin was talking about with even my catalog and stuff like that. You know, I had was to get up, I make a stand. And the worst thing anybody can do, the worst thing, I left school when I was 16 because I got tired of hearing about Christopher Columbus discovered other people's property and that nonsense. Right? But the worst thing you can do is think I'm unintelligent. Right? And I had was to go and start it. I was like David fighting Goliath. Against record companies and them 20 liars, and eventually I take them down because they think they were dealing with a little stupid idiot, whatever. And then I have people try to make up the worst thing. Oh, he's a madman, he's a this, he's unstable, blah 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 blah, and he's crazy, da 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 da. Just because I stand up. And stand up and it's part of how why we have this thing going on. So I want to echo it more. I want to see the injustice like I see going on. When I look, I see the same set of people, them come and then them family members come, and it's like anybody has come, they indoctrinate them. This is the way you deal with them. And it's like a everlasting cycle of the same type of people come with it. Because I see a lot of them come and them One Love and them Rastafari, and when you see some of them coming to Jamaica, them have on red, gold and green more than Bob Marley. Right? And as soon as them come, like one of them, he was a fisherman, and him come in the business, and he was a farmer, and him come in the business, and by the time you know it, them come, the farmer come, and them indoctrinate him, and him start going like the rest of them. And them farm, them make a buddy club round reggae. Right? And so hopefully we can come and we can break it up a real farmer organization with One Love, where, you know, the artists them need to come together.
I want to interject.
There's no two ways about it, you know, and I believe from the bottom of my heart that this is what this is about. I'm on this. Everyone seems to be on it. The committee, you know, we've got Audrey Scott, who's representing the artists. You got Amaziah's on board as also events coordinator. Yeah. You know, you've got Rowena and Leroy Wilson as the treasurer and co-treasurer. You got the chair. You know, we're on this, and our aim is to really bring this up to a new level, seriously. And I don't think we're not about to drop this. We're not about to drop the ball.
Well, I can honestly say to you that you definitely have our full support in any endeavors that you might be dealing with, and we're on the same page here, so you have our full support on Stockade Radio.
You have mine with my sister.
Thank you, sir.
And one thing we recognise is that we have to come out of London. We have to do outreach. You know, it's not just about London.
Exactly.
So, you know, when we're holding these seminars, etc., yes, we'll do it. We'll probably do road shows rather than just one area. So the people where we make connections in the Birminghams, in the Manchesters, and wherever, you know, we'll have coordinated events. So, you know, just like how an artist will put on a show and they'll say they're appearing here, appearing there, we'll do the same with the seminars, because currently what happens within any black music seminars, they're held in one place, and that's it. The group of people that live in that area are the only people to get to benefit from it. So we want to work with other organizations that exist. If organizations are already receiving funding, we just need to coordinate so that we all organize our events together. So that's
one of the ways to do it, right, like what you just homed in on. A particular artist is going on tour. So Black Who is going on tour, right? Part of the show, the daytime is seminar, and nighttime is show. So you'll find a lot of artists going to want to come. And what the artists them need to do, they need to support each other. Yeah. And so you're coming to the show, you know, you're paying $20, but X amount going back towards your Jew. Is like right there when you come to the show is when you ask a question. And you sell it online. If you're an artist on your website and feature, if you're an artist, click right here, sign up, and you buy your ticket. So they become a member, and then with that voucher now, them go to the show, show it to the gate person, and them come in, and then artists start supporting artists. So by the time you know it, you have all this money here and into a trust fund that if a record company get out of line, you already have a team of lawyers that you can put on towards a record company. Or if the artist need a contract signed, well, then you already have somebody in place or organization that can look at it.
Yes, I want to come to anybody on the panel. Does anybody on the panel have any questions for Colin or Lorna?
I have a statement.
Okay.
This is Lady General.
Okay.
And I just want to say that, you know, my background was also sound systems. And I started one in England in the 80s. And I was one of the first female DJs on a sound system during that time. And when I tell my story to people, I tell them that the only other known DJ to me at that particular time was Lorna G from Saxon.
Okay.
So
Well,
it's a pleasure and an honor to have you here today, Lorna G.
well, I'd like to see you get get anointed too.
Thank you. But I must make a little correction. Although Saxon was a great sound system, my sound was Nasty Rockers.
Okay.
You gotta get that right. We played with Saxon a lot back in the days, you know. But but my sound was Nasty Rockers with a man like Ricky Rankin, Johnny Dollar.
Was the Demon Rockers?
And you know how it was back then, you know, things were a bit fast and furious because
Yeah, man.
you know, it was a brand new thing. And as a matter of fact, General Culture spoke with Sister Nancy yesterday on his live conversation.
Oh, wow.
She was the reason I started because my friend
too.
from England, right? My
Me
friend
too, mate.
from England with a LP, and he played it, and I said, "What?" I said, "Oh God, I can do this," and I picked up the mic, and that was it. The rest is history.
Seriously, I remember being, being in my place in Brixton and hearing Tony Williams playing this tune. One thing, none take you and understand. I was like, what? What is this? I was like, what's going on? That was it for me. That changed my life. I followed her everywhere she went. I mean, her and Brigadier and Papa Madu, they all came and done a show in Itching. Me find my way at Itching. Right? Early 80s, I found my way, mate, and I found my way backstage, and then I was like, Nancy, me and you's best friend, and we just became best friends. I said, you need to meet me, right? We need to meet. We need to link. We need to just like, come, let me show you. I'm bringing you down to Brixton, and that's what I did. I brought her down to Brixton, and we, brought her down to Nasty Rockers, and that was it. When I went to Jamaica, I went down Poppy, and I went down where she stayed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that was like
every time she come California, you're sure them sold out always.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Definitely.
It's incredible. She's
So no
amazing.
question, man.
Amazing woman.
If I may just for a second, I just wanted to. I don't have a question for Lorna and Colin, because they have pretty much said a mouthful, and I personally, as an artist, like and love what they're doing. But Lorna said something which I've been saying for a very long time, is that reggae has never had an industry. Not in Jamaica anyway. Back in the days, London had an industry. The problem is the hustling took over.
Yes.
And everybody became selfish. Everybody became their own person doing their own thing. And right now, if you look at reggae in England and you look at reggae in Jamaica, because remember, based on parents and grandparents and family members migrating to England and musicians and artists back in the 60s and the 50s, they took Jamaica. They didn't take reggae with them. They took Jamaica with them, and reggae popped up. Right? What is happening, and this is the nucleus of this show, And I believe what Lorna and Colin and you guys are doing over there is trying to rebuild. What we're trying to do is rebuild.
Absolutely.
All other genres of music has more foundation and is more organized than reggae.
But excuse me, even sorry to cut you, sir. Even reggae music is well organized when it's of different nationalities, different races all over the world. Reggae music is massive and large.
Can't guarantee you that right now.
Sorry, go on.
That's fits around the background.
Yeah,
and that is true, Lorna. You know, and if you look at, I hear people saying, "Boy, the foreigner them thief reggae music." Nobody don't steal reggae music.
No.
Reggae music is the kind of music that there are people, foreigners, who are going to Jamaica and is learning the drum beat, they're learning the bass line, they're learning the guitar riff, they're learning everything, and they take it back. And two of the biggest reggae artists right now don't come from Jamaica. Two of them come from Canada, and two of them, one is from Germany and one is from Italy. Highest paid.
Yep.
Right. So what we're trying to do
They're
is
good to them. Hey, amen. They're keeping music alive. But what we're trying
to do is to, in some way, shape, or form, try and create an industry, because even hip hop have a better industry than reggae music right now.
Yes.
You know, and it is just so scattered. And as Lorna said earlier, it comes back to us, the artists.
Yes.
It starts with the artist, because I am so sick to my stomach of hearing over and over again over these years, artists keep saying, "Well, boy, back in the days, me just do music because I love music."
Yeah.
You know, those days are over.
Now that now.
Well, is this over?
Is this same thing all genres?
That can't pay your bills.
What artists need to understand, just like when these artists who just are doing it for the music and they don't want to learn nothing about the business side of it. The good part for me as an artist, I learned the business before I actually started recording.
Oh, good. Yes.
Because I mean, I've been doing music since the early 80s, and the good thing for me is that I've been around people who are business minded. The one thing I never do is associate myself with idiots. And a lot of these artists, I'm not going to go sit down with an artist under a mango tree in Jamaica and just smoke pure weed and then that's it. You know, that's why it's called business, reggae business, music business. For some reason, over the years, reggae artists have somehow managed to rip the two apart. And there is no way that one work without the other.
No.
So what we're trying to do now is to recreate something that probably should have been there a long time ago, which is a reggae industry.
Absolutely.
You know, and it comes back and it starts with the artists, as we have been discussing all day today about contracts. How many artists from back in the 50s and the 60s and the 70s and the 80s, even some of them now today, are getting duped by contracts.
Absolutely.
So what we're trying to create is an avenue, an outlet, or a HQ where these artists, if they really don't know what the next step is, call us, contact us. We're all over Facebook.
Absolutely.
Well, one thing I want to do is I want to applaud, Lorna G and Colin and anybody else or everybody else who is associated with Reggae Fraternity UK. It's one of the greatest things to happen today in this day and age, and I really encourage every artist to be part of Reggae Fraternity UK. We all need it. You need it, most definitely. If you're listening right now, you need it.
Lorna,
each other.
Lorna, I don't know if you realize, but you just had a marriage with us.
Yeah. Okay.
Welcome to the family.
I can find worse things to be married to. That's cool.
I just come for the cake, though. Hey, I just come to any wedding for the cake. So where the cake at?
I don't know you're going to separate.
Right beside me, man. You know what I mean? So it's all good. You know what?
I don't know you're going to separate both of them now.
Huh?
I don't know how you're going to separate this marriage now.
Wow.
Go ahead, Lorna.
Just listening to that that young man. Who was it? Was it
Doozle?
Was it Doozle that was just spoke about being? Who was it?
Roddy Campbell.
Roddy Campbell.
Roddy Campbell. Oh,
Roddy Campbell live and direct in Canada.
One and only Roddy.
Big up Roddy Campbell. I
Every
tell you,
time
man. One of the things, picking up from what you just said, there is enough of us that feels this way. That has that do want to bring reggae music to a higher standard, to a professional standard, and reclaim back our industry. And I think there's enough of us that wants to do this in order to make this happen. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because here's the thing: if we don't do it,
there's a passion, and if we all just, because one of the main things that I've spoken to a few artists, and I'm not gonna lie, a lot of them, the first thing they say is like, man, I've been hearing this for too long, man. Nah, everybody want to talk. Nah.
Yeah.
I'd rather just do my own thing, and and I understand that. I do understand that, because it does get really disheartening sometimes, where just chatting. Yeah. But if we all give ourselves half a chance, and not forget, but just kind of like let go of what's happened before, right? We can just learn from it. We can learn from it.
Try to start my truck.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, we can learn from all that's happened, but then there does come a time where we must let it go and just focus on what is in present, what we're doing now, we're going to do now, and how we're going to rise now. Do you know what I mean? There comes a time when that needs to happen.
General,
and it's that time now.
Because here's the thing: if we don't do that, sorry, Doozer, if we don't do that, and if we don't do that now, the way technology is right now, because right now I can have on a watch on my hand, and I can check my Facebook on my watch on my hand.
Yeah,
that's how fast technology is moving. But the thing that really scares me about where reggae is in its entirety right now is reggae is not getting any respect from the so-called upper class people with the money.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if we're not, because we need to clear up and dispel the stigma of reggae, that reggae music is just a bunch of Jamaicans or black people from the Caribbean who just smoke weed and go into the studio and sing music. It's bigger than that. Reggae music is changing people's lives.
Yeah.
Well, part of the problem is the people who creating the problem. You're shedding too much light on them. It's confrontational, and you'd be talking about all this injustice that's out there in the world, which Bob Marley was talking about, and is why they used to draw lines through a couple of his records and didn't want to play on a radio station.
Well, and the thing is now too, those same people who used to talk about how dreadlocks and weed and all this, now they're saying, well, now it's street criminalized, and now they're saying all those people who used to say that the stigma about reggae, because reggae goes along with Rasta and stuff. Now you can't say that, because now this is something that's going to be legal all over the world. It's legalized here. It's decriminalized. So now how can you still go on that same stigma as we just sit down and all we do is play chink, chink. These are some of the smartest people I ever met in my life have been reggae musicians, from, scientists, Don Carlos, Jalife. Some of these guys, they're brilliant. You can't, they're brilliant. Even Burning Spear. Burning Spear is notorious to be the smartest guy, but yet they kind of make him seem like now that he wants to talk about record companies. Oh, he just like to talk, and he want what his. Well, why doesn't it right that he get what's his? I was going to say, before Ruddy said step in, I was going to say, the main thing is the fans. The one thing I find, because I'm in between the artists and the fans I would say about, if you say, hey, somebody like whoever is getting ripped off, they want to say, well, I still like buying the albums from that company. But if you know your favorite record, your artist is getting ripped off, why would you keep buying the records and then say you love the artist? Well, it's not fair. It's not, say I go see him live too. It's not fair. If you know now that a lot of people are getting ripped off and they've said it, because some of these artists have come out and said, like Burning Spear, do not buy from these people. I said do not sell. They're not supposed to be selling. And yet these people still want to buy these same records. Well, because I want it. We'll go to the artist now. Even Burning Spear, you can go directly to him and get most of his music, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this is where we comes in, because when this thing here gets set up the right way, and you have a team of attorneys that on it, then the team of attorneys can go represent like the Burning Spear, but like automatically get assigned to a trusted attorney over there. You have this one guy over there, Andre Bertnard. Anybody ever heard about him?
No.
Nope.
Andre Bertnard. He's in France.
Okay.
Yeah. I need to next time I'm gonna reach out to him to see if we can get him to come on the show and the legal part of it. But we're laying all the groundworks now for this. I know a lot of people there, the opposite side, the enemies. I know they're also listening. Let's see.
Well, the thing is, scientists were saying earlier about how they used to talk stuff about. That's one thing I see right away. Is as soon as you know what you're talking about, they don't have a leg to stand on. And when you have no leg to stand on, your first thing is to talk stuff that even if it's whatever you want to say, but the first thing is to talk, because now, I know that person's right. What else can I do but talk against that person? And it happens with everybody. It happens with everybody. Even Furnace Spear, I just said, he is notoriously a smart, wicked artist, the smartest guy, a great musician for 40 years, but people want to talk about the Spears talking too much crap about record companies now. Come on.
No, but he talking the truth. But look here. Jimmy Cliff says the same exact thing.
Yep. Said the same thing to me, man, about Island. You guys were talking about Island earlier?
Yeah, Jimmy he said the same exact thing about how did they come. Michael Jackson before him dead, he was talking about Tommy Toller from Virgin Record, him talking about Sammy Davis Jr., and all these artists have the same exact story. Right, I can just talk, forget all the hearsay, but I can just talk about my story. How this record company just keep think they should be ripping me off, and when I go study the law and use the law against them, then the same thing. He's a madman, he's a crazy man. Don't deal with him. He go around blowing up everybody's sound system, and is all lies.
Yeah, but that's the thing. And that's with those records, because everyone knows who it is. They've made so much money. Everybody knows who it is. They're notorious that they made their business off these records, and they stole them. I asked Ja Life one day, I said, how many records do you think this company stole from you? I said 20. He said, no, like 500 tracks. I said, you're joking. He said, no, I not joke you like that. He said, this company took everything from me. It's not fair. That's his works that he paid for. It's his love. Not only is it work, he loves music. And that's not fair. When you're taking somebody's love away from it. It make it, like they said, did you see that article about Toots Hibbert? That after he got hit with a bottle in Richmond, he hasn't been the same. It's not fair that fan throws a bottle and now Toots Hibbert is a broken man. That's not fair. That's not how you treat great artists.
Somebody threw a bottle and hit him.
You don't remember that last summer or 2 summers ago or something like that? I think it was here in America. Don't quote me on this, but somebody threw a bottle at Toots Hibbert on stage.
I heard.
And he's taking it really offensively, and he doesn't want to tour, and he feels really badly about this. And it's up to us as the fans and the artists to say, hey, he shouldn't get treated like this ever. Even if it was just some drunken idiot, ever. We should apologize and make one concert just for him and say, please, we beg you to come play, and we'll apologize. We'll do everything for you, because he's a veteran.
Anyway, I want to progress, and I want to thank Lorna G and Colin for being part of the show today, and thank you so much. Yeah,
thank you, General. We want to say that during this call, actually, we've decided to make a Facebook group open. So
wow.
So you guys have already inspired us.
Wow.
So the group that's already there is the Reggae. It's called the Reggae Fraternity UK. And it's a closed group at the moment, but we're going to make it an open group so people can come on the group and see. We have another meeting coming up on the 11th of June at the Brixton Market House. That's going to start at 7:00, and it's just going to be a meeting. It's just a kind of a meet and greet, and just to see what we're up to, what we're doing, and what the progress is so far. So if anybody wants to come down there, come down with a £3 donation and come, and you'll be welcomed. So everything's going to be posted on the group, Reggae Fraternity UK on Facebook. And as I said, the website is actually up, but it's private at the moment because we're just working on certain things. So that's going to be up and running very, very soon. But we'll always keep on check with you because, as you said, we're married, right?
Yeah. And we've also got a Twitter account now as well, so you can find
Reggae Fraternity on Twitter.
We'll send you those details.
Okay, brilliant. And what is expected to be posted in the Reggae Fraternity UK?
In the group?
Yeah.
Well, we're going to have artists that's doing stuff. going to be free to post your shows and events, your album releases and stuff like that.
Right.
We're going to have information of what we're doing with our RFUK.
Right.
Meetings that's going to be coming up, events that's going to be coming up, seminars. We're going to be holding lots of seminars and stuff like that. And also we're going to be, directing traffic to the website and
Brilliant.
so it's a way to keep in touch with, keep up to date with what we're doing.
Yeah. So we'll be having a number.
Hold on, Roddy. Sorry. Go ahead, Colin.
So we'll be having a number of themes. So messages coming out specifically from us.
Right.
Messages that we want to get across. The theme we've got at this moment in time is are you serious about music? That's the primary caption, and then below that, then the first poster that came out is then why are you performing without a contract? We've got themes along that way, payola, all those sorts of things that will be, topical things that we be regularly posting out, and prompting musicians and artists to just think about, how they're conducting themselves.
It's a mindset. A mindset, and if we can just start trying to, all of us start trying to think in a different mindset, just changing our mindset. That's what it is, man.
Yeah.
Well, probably what you could do is invite some of these people that you get on your site to come on our shows. So because of our reach, to discuss what they're going through, just like how you came.
Sure. All your stuff is posted on our page, I must say. Or your shows, your Christopher Hills highlighted the fact that you was talking about this very thing about the music industry. So a few weeks back, he was posting this stuff on our page, and then we started looking for them, hunting them out, and posting them on our page ourselves. You know what I mean? Because it's all so very relevant to what we're doing.
Thank you so much.
I want to, when you're doing this stuff, I would love to come and do, like probably me and Matt Professor could come and do a dub show at night time, so that we don't have a big expense.
Most definitely.
That would be fantastic.
Prop.
Yeah.
What I wanted to say to Lorna, sorry Lorna, very quickly, what I wanted to say to you, the group pages, make at least 2 more people in your group their admin for the group, because as you know, once you put up a group, people start posting all sorts of stupidness on the group.
Yeah, definitely. The admin will have to obviously,
so we'll be moderating. We'll definitely be moderating.
Yeah.
Good.
Thank you.
So thank you so much, Colin.
But
thank you so
hold
much,
you to
Lorna.
your offer, scientist.
That's one offer I know you can.
Big up, man, Professor 2 out there, man.
Yeah,
Neil.
Because I have a special formula that I use through the music, and it just plant whatever you want to plant in people's brains.
Yes.
Just take
all
over
the
their brains.
scientists, man. All of the
Scientists sends out the right kind of fumes.
That's right, Chris.
I have a special jolly drink, a giant plant. When that fume take over the air, everybody just started breathing.
If you by any chance should sniff the fumes, we are not responsible.
Oh my goodness.
I tell you, I would be even have the Queen coming down to check out some of the fumes.
Listen, guys, I want to thank you all for being part of the show, and
bless up, Colin.
Lorna,
bless up, Lorna.
many thanks.
Thank you.
And Colin, Lorna, enough love and respect. Thank you so much.
Love.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Great work.
Take care.
All right, take care now. Okay, and I'm going to bring this show to a close. Now, we were supposed to talk about one more topic, and I'm going to ask for us to bring that forward to 2 weeks' time, and we'll be talking about earnings from live performances and set lists and so forth, and the IRS that was mentioned during our meeting. I want to thank everybody on the panel, for an awesome show. And I want to apologize for my lateness. I had to go and see my daughter perform on stage.
Oh, you couldn't miss that.
Oh, God of mercy. She would never forgive me.
Forgive you. That's what I was going to say.
We would, if you didn't go, we wouldn't forgive you.
Oh, Lord of mercy.
I know I wouldn't forgive you if it didn't go.
Yeah, that's I think everybody knows it's about family. You know, music and this and that. It's always about family and God. Everybody knows that. Yo, that's a first priority. So.
Because as I said, G, I still have this frying pan that I need to use on you, so, you know. Don't make me use it, Bridget. How did she do?
Oh, she did very well. She did very well. She was looking all over the place. I could see her head was moving, so I had to stand up in front of the crowd and say, I'm here.
No, enough respect to a dad like that in general. Enough respect to a dad. Enough time. No good dad and no good parents out there. So enough respect to that, man.
I don't understand deadbeat parents.
So big respect to this panel. I really am proud of what we've achieved so far, you know, and the information.
Inspire. Look like that lady there. She have the warrior blood in her, and we inspire.
Shaka Zulu.
Yeah, she from my tribe.
Shaka Zulu.
It's good when we can, and I think the operative word right now is unity. We have to learn how to unify, not just by words from mouth, but we have to be able to show it, because people are looking at us now.
One love.
Yes, man. You know, you can't say, you know, you're about unity and you're showing us something totally different. I don't believe in that. You know what I mean? So I think we have to be able to say those words and mean it. And if we're not meaning it, let's call it a day and stop fooling ourselves. You know what I mean? And that's where I'm at with this right now. So, and I think our hearts are in the right place. I think Roddy Campbell, to Doozer, to Chris, to Lady General, to Scientist, to myself, and many other people out there, even the listeners of this show right now, I think our hearts are in the right place. And big respect to the Reggae Fraternity. And I've also got to big up Delroy Washington, who's also doing something awesome out there that I know of. Okay, so big respect going out to each and every one. Does anybody have anything to say before I pull the plug?
I'd just like to thank all of the listeners for tuning in, all of the guys that have been in the chat room and have hung out throughout the duration of the show. Guest number 3179, guest number 6617, Janiceness, Mama D, Marsha, Sharon, Tornado, and all of the others listening via the TuneIn app, and all the silent listeners on the outside. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate your support so very much.
I remember to tell your friend to listen the next time. All you listeners who listen, please remember to tell your friends to join us next time.
Yes. And I got to big up Mama D. She was having internet or changing internet providers. So
Mama D is you know what, my grandmother used to call her Mama D. I wonder if it's my grandmother reincarnate.
Probably. No, this is the original Mama D.
Yeah, I said she's the original. My grandma. Oh, well, what's wrong with you, dude? My grandma.
I can hear your grandma, Scientist. Don't quit. Say it again. I can just hear your grandma.
Mama D, that's the original. Respect to that, Mama D, but this mama, you can't tell me that. What's wrong?
I gotta bless up Mama D. Mama D is back in the building on Monday. Okay, I do believe she'll be on Reggae for Us radio. Okay, she'll be doing a show of Reggae for Us. I do believe she will be. She posts her show on Facebook, so you can follow Mama D on Facebook. Want to big up Tornado Radio, because we're simulcasting this show on Tornado Radio and Rockers Corner Radio. Okay, and big respect going out to each and everyone out there. I'm gonna pull the plug right now, so enough respect. Everybody say your goodbyes.
The flat line, no more brain dead, everything. Gonna pull the plug. Let's shock him one more time.
Pull the plug. Pull the plug.
Good night, people.
Good night.
Have a good weekend, everyone.
Stay blessed. All right, enough respect going out to each and everyone. Once again, Mama D is back. That's good news. That's good news. Mama D is back. Monday, I do not think I'll be doing the Africa show. If I do it, I will post it on Facebook. We'll see how that goes. But thanks for tuning in. Enough love and respect going out to each and everyone. I'm out.
The scientists rid the world of the intergalactic vampires killers. Genius scientist Rusty Steele is in his lab, busy sampling his newest invention, a hybrid plant grown on planet Mars he has dubbed Jolly Green Giant that makes everyone who partakes of it filled with love. A folder labeled Top Secret SOS races down a pipe, dropping on the table. For years, the intergalactic vampire has been
Do remember,
into the heart of
the next airing of the Reggae Biz Talk Show will be the 31st of May, the end of the month.
The scientist brings nothing more to the table than a love of mankind and a talent for reggae beats. But these tools are more deadly than they appear. Some may say that mere humans cannot possibly defeat intergalactic vampires, but with a little creativity and a lot of hard work, the dream that the scientist rids the world of evil just might
Stockade
come
Radio
true.
#1, always on top, the best music non-stop.
Scientist Reggae album, a music collection containing a story like no other. In the Scientist album, listeners learn of such evil creatures as the intergalactic vampire witch, the intergalactic wolf and intergalactic Frankenstein. These terrifying creatures are awful intergalactic vampires. It is up to the scientist to use its musical powers to make the world safe once more. Fortunately, this is not a mission that the scientist needs to take all on his own. Along the way, he will be able to snatch up several crewmates, each with their own unique powers. First there's Flabba Holt, the chief of low-frequency shockwave. His hard-hitting bass guitar serves as an effective weapon against evil. Michigan and Smiley have plenty to add with their stores of knowledge surrounding biological warfare that hit them with diseases. They are often joined by Bunny Whaler, the expert on psychological warfare. The scientist also frequently teams up with Style Scott, a top-notch intergalactic vampire killer. Josie Whale serves as the radar jammer, taking his DJ skills to the next level. Super Cat, also known as Wild Apache, consistently displays great talent when working with cruise missiles. His buddy RAS Michael is also happy to lend a hand as the Chief Justice. The scientist's team is rounded out by Earl Chinna Smith and the Meditations, a group of musicians who work hard to keep the musical military protected, meanwhile reaching out as diplomats. With such a talented and versatile team, there's no limit on what the scientist will accomplish. The battle against the intergalactic vampire certainly will not be an easy one. But if the citizens of Earth get on board with their reggae protectors, the evil intergalactic vampires will eventually be forced into retreat, leaving humans to live in peace and harmony. What now? Steely says, opening the folder. It is an urgent message from Style Scott, intergalactic vampire killer. It reads, the intergalactic vampire bankers have brainwashed the President, Congress, and are infiltrating the military to bankrupt the U.S. You must stop them before they take over the world. I knew those bastards were evil intergalactic blood-sucking vampires.
You're now listening to Stockade Radio, playing the best in rub-a-dub style, dancehall, original style, and more.
Emails to everyone commanding them to report.
My name is Dr. Bill Smuggs, and this is Frankie Dancehall Fall. Worries in the dance, worries tonight, Stockade Radio, the Motown, worries, ow!